Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome live from the Huddle House to the LC Coaches Show. I'm Keith Newbern along with Jeremy Lewis. We're here live with head football coach Kurt Williams. Coach, you're coming off a big historic win Friday night down in Folkestone, knocking off the Indians 28-14. One of the biggest wins of our program, I would say, knocking off Charlton. They're down a little bit this year, but you know, since 2010, we haven't beat them, so take it when we can get it.
Well, wins around here are precious.
Yes, sir.
So I don't, we don't really care what anybody's record is. We're still in the process of learning how to win, so we don't, I told the guys all week, you're just, they're probably a better version of us last year. They're really young, freshman quarterback. We hit him several times. I don't know how many sacks we quite had, probably 5 or 6, and hit him. Gosh, we probably hit him 10 times. He kept getting back up, and he's going to be a good little ball player here in the next couple of years. So it kind of reminded me of playing us last year. Mm-hmm. Except the one thing they have is a tradition-rich program, and they just wasn't going to lay down. And
that's right.
And told the kids all week they wasn't just going to give it to us.
That's
and
right.
You could tell when we got there, they were fully expecting to compete, fully expecting to play hard, and
they were probably the best 1-8 team in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. And got kids. They basically had just like we did last year with Aeneas and Isaiah and our big kids. They had a big kid. And then they would have a freshman or sophomore playing next to him who wasn't quite as talented, but they're bringing a lot of those guys back, and they're going to be a good football team. And we had a chance to really put it away and didn't, and that's kind of where we're at and learning how to win those games. But at the same time, it was kind of good to have to struggle and have to play a full 48 minutes instead of having a running clock, and would have really liked to got some of the young guys in there, but at the same time I thought it was good for our defense to really our defense had to go win the game at the end.
That's right.
And thought they did a good secondary probably had their best game of the year. They had 3 interceptions and several big fourth down stops in our territory.
That's right. Well, they were driving late, and I know we had the hands teams getting loose over on the sideline just in case they so they scored an onside, but unfortunately defense bent their back and got to stop, and
Well, Sharp was on the headset. I thought it was about 2:30 left, 3 minutes or something like that. And it's at the kind of what happens is 28-7, and we had a good night offensively. It's just in the second half we just kind of would have a penalty or, just stall out. And they made a couple adjustments and got more people in the box where we couldn't run the ball as near as good. And when they come out again, another first drive of the half of going down and score, which I didn't think was us coming out flat more so than they executed. They ran kind of what we call sucker, where they faked the screen out there, and that's really the only bad play the secondary had all game. And that got them in good field position more so than us just coming out playing flat.
Right.
And made it 28-14, and I went into very conservative Kirby, a.k.a. Kirby Smart mode, and just tried to grind things out. Didn't want to really wing the ball around, even though we had a lot of success throwing the ball early. Wanted to milk the clock as much as possible because we were playing good defense and was trying to play field position. And that's kind of why we took I ain't going to say took the foot off the gas, but was really trying to shorten the game as much as possible and
more of a run-based offense to keep the clock grinding.
Yeah, and so, I think we had a moment, one drive where we threw it 3 straight times in a row, and I was kind of upset about that. And I was like, we can't do that again. I'd rather run it 3 straight times and punt it and milk the clock and because when it's 28-14, one bad play, like we chose to go for it instead of take a field goal, mainly because I felt that the risk of a bad snap or a blocked field goal return for a touchdown was a lot greater than them driving. Yeah, I was like, they got to drive 90 yards on us, and they hadn't did that all night. I think both their drives was less than 90 yards combined. And I was like, let's just keep the ball down here, and if we punch it in, we'll punch it in. If not, we don't. And, Cruz didn't look the greatest in his kicks and stuff like that. So, I mean, not trying to get all technical into the decisions, but that's kind of what happens in about a 20-second,
that's right.
maybe a 10-second window.
They did get their hand on a punt earlier in the ball game. And
that was sheer missed blocking assignment. That was, we had a new guy in on the punt team that just, for whatever reason, went to sleep, and which I think we ended up getting the ball back on that.
We did. Well, they defense held them. They drove down, I think, might have been the time that maybe one of the interceptions shortly after that. I think they drove down, and we kept them out of the end zone nonetheless.
Yeah.
After that, but their first touchdown came after what was I didn't catch the penalty, but we had a penalty after one of our scores. And
well, they called celebrating because I think Colby ran over there and picked Kish up, and we've been doing that all year and hadn't been called for it. But I think the exaggeration in it, the delay, it wasn't like, boom, we scored and he runs over there and picks it up. It was kind of like late. And I think
then we get a penalty on the kick and wound up, they started on the 35-yard line. We have them 3rd and 10 from the 35. And
Cortez got hit late, really late, and on their sideline. And that's one thing I told the kids all week. Like, going on the road, we've already experienced this. You're not going to get a whole lot of calls to go in your favor, and we didn't want to be in a tight ball game late because we felt like, that's when the officials can take over. And thought the officiating was pretty good, except for one guy on their sideline. And
well, you get a guy over on the opposite sideline, and he can listen to that coach chirping in his ear all night.
That's kind of what happened.
And he'll get a few flags.
The first touchdown that they scored, Keontae got tackled. I mean, he's coming, and then their receiver reaches out, grabs him, horse collars him, basically, and just rides him down like he's riding a steer down in a steer wrestling competition.
And the guy gets the edge and
gone.
Goes 35 yards on 3rd down and 10.
And Roy missed a tackle on it too, and
had him in the backfield.
That as a defense guy, that is aggravating. But I mean, we muffed the punt inside the 20. gave up an onside kick and a block punt and won the game.
Yeah, and the defense bent their back
Well,
inside down there deep a few times and kept them out of the end zone.
And they've struggled on offense all year, but we've struggled on defense for quite some time, not just this year, for years.
Yeah, for quite a while.
And, I've been saying that we're still, at the beginning of the year, I thought we were still a year away from being really good defensively. And we didn't play lights out on defense, but the past 2 weeks were really starting to get stops. And thought we did the same thing in Telfair until the officials took over.
I think the last maybe, I don't know, I'm guessing here without looking at it on paper, but I think the last 3 to 4 years we've averaged over 40 points a game given up. This year we had 3 games. If I'm not mistaken, we had 3 games. We gave up 41 to Wilcox, 41 to Clinch,
49
to Montgomery.
41 to Montgomery, 49 to Clinch, 41 to Irwin, 41 to Wilcox. So that's 4 games.
4 games. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and a lot of those games, like Wilcox had a punt return, Irwin had a pick 6. I mean, when you score 40 and 50 points, it's usually coming off special teams and defense getting turnovers and stuff like that. It's really hard to score 40 points in a game. Right. It really is. And
well, you go from allowing that as an average to eliminating it to 4 games out of 10 in the region we play in is quite an improvement.
We went from, we gave up probably we gave up the most points in school history last year, and we reduced that down. I think we gave up 30 points a game when I looked at it. And that's not a great goal, but that was our goal. It's like if we can reduce it, we reduced it by 22 points a game. That's 3 scores.
That's right.
And, games we won, we played pretty well on defense. And that's kind of where, as a defensive guy, it really starts with tackling, and blocking and tackling. That's football.
That's right. Nonetheless, a big win down there Friday night in Folkestone, Coach. Very proud of that win. They've been playing those guys since 2010. They came into our region. Of course, you wouldn't want to schedule them non-region, so we never did. And they come into our region. We had no choice. We've been playing them ever since. And first win since 2010. That's a big accomplishment. Why don't we step away, take a break, give our sponsors some love, and we'll come back and talk about the whole season as a whole.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop?
It's down.
It's down in the sphere.
welcome back to the LC Coaches Show here on the Lanier County Network. We're talking with Coach Kurt Williams tonight. We discussed the Charleston game, and let's talk a little bit about the season as a whole. We improved from 0-10, unfortunately, last year to 3-7 this year. And I'm gonna say, man, I really felt like we could have been 6-4 easily, and maybe even 7-3. And it really feels like we won more than 3 ball games. If you all go around this community, the morale for anybody who is a football fan that likes Lanier County High School football or Lanier County sports in general, man, that football team has made great improvements. We appreciate the effort that you and your staff have put forth this year, and man, y'all have worked tirelessly since you got here. There hadn't been a break, so
no.
Really
and guess what? It didn't stop today.
That's right. Some folks say, well, we see them out there about August or sometime, and they're done in the first week of November, but it don't stop.
It stopped for the kids. We're giving the kids a few weeks off, and we'll lift some after Thanksgiving break. But when we hit January, it'll really get cranked up, and I went 3-7 my first year in Brunswick. Completely different feeling. It's get these sorry coaches out of here and that kind of mess. And I think high school football is a little bit different. You're not able to go recruit. You're not able to go do this. So you have to kind of process where you're at. And just really proud of our kids. I mean, that they work their tail off and they get to see the results paid off. And, kind of looking at it from the season or at the beginning of the season, really thought we had a chance to go 3-7, 4-6, maybe even 5-5. And a lot of people thought we were crazy when we said that. They really did.
Yeah, they did. People asked me before the season, and I've been around here ever since it started.
Yeah.
And they say, hey, what we think we're going to do this year? And I said, we're going to do 5-5, and we're going to go to playoffs. You're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about.
You're crazy. And here we are 3 points shy.
3 points shy of that. And folks said, man, we could have been 7-3. And I said, well, I told y'all 5-5.
I don't know. It was just it was really a good season. It really was. I hate we couldn't get in the playoffs because I really thought we were peaking at the right time.
That's right.
And thought our kids got better every week. And I go back and watch the Union game, and I about threw up in my mouth. I mean, that's how much improvement we made over the season because I feel like if we go back and play that game, we probably beat them by a couple touchdowns.
That's right.
We outgained them by 100 yards that night. We've gotten a whole lot better on defense.
Yeah.
We just didn't have an identity when we went down there, and that's normal. We didn't really, Jeremiah Small came on. He got better every week. I hate he didn't play all 4 years.
That's right. He gave us a big boost at that running back position that really we haven't had here in a while, and it's just not been really. I mean, this hasn't been that guy.
Yeah.
The back that we really needed there. Not knocking any of the other kids. I mean, he just kind of stepped in and was kind of a natural at it, in my opinion.
No, he was. He had really good vision, and we got better up front. I knew we were going to be better up front, but we wasn't very good at the beginning of the year. But then we got into. I mean, we pretty much moved the ball on everybody but Irwin and Wilcox, and I think their defensive numbers. They did the same thing to everybody else.
That's right. Well, Irwin didn't allow, that I heard of, going into Friday night, I was going to say. Going into Friday night, they claimed their first team defense had not allowed a point.
And shut Turner out, too. So, just really it's kind of hard to absorb right now for me because it feels like we're really not done yet. And it really don't stop for us. I mean, this morning I met with the juniors that are going to be upcoming seniors. Mm-hmm. I mean, it starts that fast and really trying to get in their head like, hey, this, 365 days from now, what kind of conversation are we going to be having? Am I going to be having a conversation with, Noah's group and Kish and Josh and all them talking about their senior year coming up, or are we going to be sitting here getting ready to play somebody in the playoffs? And So that's our main goal next year is trying to get in.
That's right.
And we'll see how the regions pan out. But
hopefully we'll know that December the 1st or somewhere there around the 1st of December. But no, just if you've been here as long as I have, you kind of look at a season like this and you think, man, we was that close. And you think, well, where we're going to be next year, and you just see a bright future. There's some guys coming up that's going to help us out. Our
young kids are fired up about the off season. The guys that like Ja'Cory Williams, he don't play anything but football, and he's like, Coach, I'm so ready to get in the weight room. And we've been in the weight room, but it's a different intensity in the off season because you don't have practice, you don't have games. You're lifting in the season more so to maintain what you got.
That's right. Sometimes it's hard to motivate them when there's not nothing to play for. You're not getting out there on the field and playing. But I think when we get to, March, when we play that spring game, it'll be over in Atco with Berrien and Atco, the 3-team jamboree type deal. Isn't that in March?
It's actually in May.
Is it in May? I'm jumping ahead. I'm trying to get there quicker too, I guess. But I think you'll see. I think be a lot of folks going to show up to that, seeing what.
Well, I think a lot of people. I mean, now we're going to have to learn how to. We're being competitive now. Folks are going to start expecting us to figure out how to win these competitive games.
That's right.
And that's got to be our motivation every week. I'm about to, we're about to put up all these scores across the locker room and the weight room every day, where they don't forget. You're 10 points away from being 6-4, which is tied for the best record here at the school, and that's the kind of stuff we're aiming for, to be the best team that the school's ever had, and and we'll try to do the same thing on offense. We were at halftime. I thought we had a chance to get to the school record at one. We only needed 52 points the other night to get to the school record for most points in a season. Did you know we were that close?
I didn't know we was quite that close, but I know it was getting on up there.
And we got 28.
But I try not to tell the guys that kind of thing, because then they go to doing things
they start pressing. Yeah. And I didn't tell anybody. I told Sharp, and Sharp's like, Rashard, get loose, and he's ready to go out there and just sling the ball every play. I'm like,
well, I let it go like 3 or 4 ball games without telling anybody that Rashard had broke the all-time passing record, because I didn't want them to say, okay, well, it's done. Keep building on it, and I wanted to announce it against Clinch County. Nothing against them folks over there. We had never beat them, but we played a good ball game against them this year. And
I think that's you start looking back over the season. The Telfair game shows you how much we really grow, because Rashad, everybody looks at us like, well, they got a really good quarterback, and we do have a good quarterback. And usually when Rashad plays terrible, we get blowed out. And Rashad didn't have the best game. The conditions were awful in McRae.
Man, that field was the worst shape of
it. The film don't do
played it all year.
The film don't do justice of how bad. It was worse than any rain game I've ever been in. And I ain't coaching a lot of rain games, but the turf was thick. They got 4 inches of rain, so they were unable to cut it. It was really spongy. People are sliding all over the place, so the ball's really slick. The dew had already fell by the time the game started. It was just like, man, this is awful. And then it was cold. And but we knew it was going to be cold. I didn't know it was going to be that slick. And anyway, he didn't play well at all in Telfair. It was hard for us to throw the ball, fumbled some snaps and that kind of stuff. And we still should have won the game. And we like to blame, a lot of people's blaming it on the officials, but we had the ball on the 8-yard line, 3rd and 1, jumped off sides. Had it again, the same, got those yards back, 4th and 2 on the 9-yard line, jumped off sides. So we had the opportunity to cash in and then botched the field goal. We had 3 opportunities to get points, and we didn't. And, the red zone area for, I know Lakeland folks, they understand basketball around here, so I'm going to explain it in basketball terms. Getting in the red zone is like going to the free throw line. You gotta hit 1. 1 is like a free throw, and 2, hitting both free throws is like getting touchdowns. And I think
free throws a field goal. 1 out of 2 is a field goal. Yeah. 2 out of 2 is touchdown.
And we got fouled from the 3-point line and missed all 3 of them. And you're not going to win like that. And I think we we were like 50% in the red zone that night. And that's one of the areas we got to get better at is red zone production. We drove the ball down there and got down there and got bogged down, and probably third down defense can improve. Like that kind of stuff is stuff we're looking in the off season where we can get better. I think we averaged, God, it was close to 150 yards rushing average. I think at one time. I have to.
Yeah, we run the ball better this year than we have in quite a while. Different factors played into that, but
yeah, and that was the whole goal: is improving the run game and getting better at stopping the run. And we still got to get better at it. I mean, I don't even think we're averaging 4 yards a carry, but it was our offense is, we spread the ball enough that, when you're not sitting here in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, you can convert third downs, keep chains moving, and
right.
And we got to find a way to get more explosive too.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of that was the biggest difference in the games we lost. Is the other team was just more explosive than us. We gave up too many big plays.
Right. Our big plays in the clinch game was the difference in the ball game.
Oh, yeah.
We were down 3 points and with 8.5 minutes to go, and big plays from that point on was where they're
31 snaps. I think 7 of them busted for 20 or more.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I'm defining as an explosive play is like a run over 15 or a pass over 20 yards.
Right. Well, Coach, I keep stats. Been doing that for a long time, but the most impressive stat to me this year is how you've kept these guys in the program from what the novice person would think would be start to finish. We've been talked about there's no start, no finish. It never ends. But from start to finish, meaning from the summer to last Friday night, this past Friday night, I can only think, you'll know exact number, I can only think of one kid that didn't finish the season, and I'm not going to call his name, but that didn't finish the season for anything other than injury.
Well, we had a couple of JV guys didn't finish out this week for all kind of different reasons, but
we pretty much started with 45, maybe.
Yeah, we've teetered around that number. Somewhere between 40 to 45.
And probably had 40 dressed out Friday night.
Yeah,
so
easy.
In the past years, nothing against any other coach. Don't take this the wrong way if you're out there listening and used to coach Lanier County High School. You know why they didn't stay. When you get to losing, they leave you and they go to basketball. So I'm not knocking any other coach. But this year, because I get that all the time, why you want to down the coach? No, I'm not doing that. I'm just saying that when you go to losing, basketball starts bouncing in the gym. We're going to talk to Coach Randolph in a few minutes. Those guys start gradually leaving football. Well, they didn't do that this year. They was hungry. They wanted to finish the year strong. And to me, that's one of the best.
I mean, we were mathematically still alive to get in the playoffs, too, till last week.
That's exactly right, until after the Telfair game.
Yeah, and
hadn't had that in quite a while.
No, and
since 2011.
And then Charlton come up, and we had, I just found ways to motivate them to stay out there too. I mean, I think that's one thing. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I focused on more of trying to figure out different ways to motivate. It took a lot more time on pregame speeches and what the message needed to be, and because as a ball coach, sometimes you get so locked in on X's and O's, you leave. I think that's one of the more difficult parts of being a head coach is balancing all the booster club, the logistics of what's going on this week, of your feeder program, just the whole big picture, and but yet be able to focus on the game plan and the X's and O's, and you just got to find a fine balance on what works for you. But I was told the seniors, you got a chance to go beat Charlton for the first time in school history, and 3 wins would give us the most wins since 2011, and second best team of the decade, and that's kind of what we were playing for last week, and and man, we got off the bus and they had the big welcome to the swamp, and they've done a good job over there for so many years.
They have.
And they got all these signs of not single A state champions, double A state championships, beating Buford, and that's the teams I had the privilege of playing against in high school, and you got several big time tail stompings, because of Coach McWhorter and what he built over there, and looking at their 8th grade and 9th grade, they're going to be back pretty quick.
Yeah, well, you walk into that stadium, it's not like any other Class A stadium. You go in around.
No, it's a nice setup. They got you right on the field. The locker room was nice. They're playing the chop, the Seminole chop, when we got there, and it was like, man, this, I think it helped. It's like, man, we're in a big time atmosphere tonight, and it was a playoff type. There wasn't a whole lot of folks there, but just the way they did things, the weather, and it just, this is what playoff football weather is going to feel like. So if we're able to play well in this weather, this is what we're working to.
That's right. Well, Coach, we're going to head into the 2020 season. You said you already dove into that today.
Absolutely.
We're going to find out somewhere in the 1st of December what region we're going to fall in. That's all based on the state of Georgia. High school football is predominant over any other sport with the GHSA anyway, and they align the regions according to football, and then they fill in the other folks that don't play football into those regions. We feel like we know that we'll be in the region with Clinch, Charlton, and Atkinson, most likely Turner and Irwin. We're still waiting to see if we'll have Brooks County, possibly a McIntosh County Academy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody knows. Everybody I talk to has got a different story.
Different opinion.
The one consistent is Turner's not even a consistent. Irwin, us, Clinch, Atco, and Charlton are the 5 that aren't pretty sure is going to stay together.
Right.
And, could go east with McIntosh, or we could go west with Turner and Wilcox, or we could go with Turner. We could go Turner and Brooks, or it could be just Brooks. We don't know. And that's kind of out of my control, and I worry about it probably too much. I need to be worried about other stuff. But, right now kind of what we got going on is we're trying to piece together a non-region schedule and call around guys to see if they're interested in playing. And, we're, because we were a lot better and improved, nobody, some of these small schools don't want to play us. And I think it's a testament to our kids. So the schedule's going to look a little bit different next year. A little bit different format with the top 4 getting back in.
The top 4 goes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
So no longer a power ranking.
And there's pros and cons to both systems. The worst part about the power rankings is if you get in, if we would have got in, we'd had a high probability of playing Wilcox again. I mean, I've already played that game.
That's right.
I would like, when you get in, you want to go to a Manchester, or you want to go to a Macon County, or you want to go to a Johnson County to play, right, and see a whole different. That's the beauty part of the playoffs. You get to travel across the state and see different venues, and so we'll see. We're sending off 11 seniors, and I believe, I'm trying to think, 5 of those guys started on offense and 4 on defense. So, and 3 of them are offensive linemen. That's going to be the biggest question. And messing with Coach Shop today, man, I'm like, dude, you got the job of the century right now. It's all on you, brother, if we're going to keep this thing rolling. And because that's where it all starts up front. And if you get up front, which I thought we made tremendous strides up front on both sides of the ball this year. And it paid off for us. And if we want to continue to do this, we got all our skill guys coming back outside of our running back and Colton Hughes and we really feel like we got some guys that can replace those guys. But they're gonna have to prove themselves. And defensively, kind of the same thing. We've got guys that have been rotating in and playing in on some of these spots with at linebacker and safety and corner, and nose guard's probably going to be the biggest challenge. But we got some really talented young kids coming up who have a chance to play as 9th graders and 10th graders, and they just got to go do it. They got to go prove that they can do it, and this off season is going to be fun. I think it's going to be different for. I think we're going to get some kids back out of the school that didn't play this year or haven't played, and because they see we're competing, they see these kids having fun. But they're going to have to get in the weight program, or it's going to be very, very difficult because it's not the same deal out there anymore. You come to practice and you're going to hear some popping going on. I told them that at the end of the year was like my first day of spring, man. When I first got here, we did board drills right off the rip. And I might have heard one good collision. And, now you come out here and it's your 8th graders, it's your 9th. It don't matter what level of football you come to now. It's going to be physical in Lakeland. And just going out there to the rec department Saturday and watching, like, our 12U team was physical. Our 10U team was physical. Our 8U team's physical. And really like where the future is for this program.
Yeah, it's really exciting times if you're a Bulldog football fan. No.
Well, we're on the upswing, but we got to treat every season as its own, and we're gonna have to. Next year's team's a different team, and we're gonna have to put in the work just like this team did to get a whole lot better. And we had a really good summer, and we're gonna need a better summer next year, a better spring, a better off season, and we still got a long way to go. I mean, we can still get so much better. I don't think people realize how far we've still got a really long way to go. Of stuff we can clean up and get better at, and learning how to practice and learning how to work, like the top programs in the state that we have to play. And, that's going to be the challenge over the next 365 days. How much better can we get? So it's
All right, well, Coach.
Anxious to see.
Going to be a long several months. Back till Jeremy said May. I was hoping it was March.
Long for y'all, but I'm telling you right now, there's like today they're coming in. I had Chuck come by the locker room today trying to sell shoulder pads and all that stuff, helmet reconditioning. The off season for a head coach is probably, I would argue, say it's more busy than in season sometimes, just with stuff you got to do and handle and
I've been trying to talk Coach into, since he's been here, to change those helmets to red and change those pants to silver. And I found out that his uncle is a Georgia fan, and I'm gonna get him on my side and see what we can do in the next few years.
And we have I've converted my Uncle Ricky to a Lanier County Bulldog.
He is. He's
on the dog train.
He is on the dog train. He's been
at every game since I can't remember when he started. I don't think he went to Hamilton with us, but he did go to Wilcox or Atco game. He got on. He's like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do. Football's over with. He's had a great time.
That's right. We've enjoyed having him.
Even little Annalise is like, I'm ready for the game today. I'm like, maybe the games are over with.
Game's over with.
And so it's going to be a little sad this Friday. But, I got some honeydew stuff to do around the house and clean up a little bit and get ready for the holidays and turn it over to Coach here and let him get in the hot seat.
That's right. Well,
come watch the basketball.
Tell Ricky to come over and watch some basketball.
I told
he'll
him,
enjoy that.
I was like, you need to come to a big time basketball game because us being from Berrien, Berrien traditionally back in the day was really good in basketball, and even all the way up to when I was in high school, we'd go to Elite Eight, and it was just, man, basketball was the thing in Nashville. Yeah. And a lot like here. I mean, you'd go out there on a Tuesday night and it'd be slam packed. And just seeing our folks and seeing how, our folks support all our athletics. They really do, and that's what makes this place great, and why I want to come here and get the football program out of the cellar. And there's no reason why we can't be good in every sport around here, because there is some talented kids, and then the support's great. It really is. And I love it, man. I mean, we go on the road and folks travel with us, and you come here to Lakeland, and it's rowdy, it's hostile, and that's what you want at home. And that's what I told Rick. I said, man, you need to come to basketball game.
That's right.
I said, because it'll be packed, and
we've had to turn people away. Gym's too full.
Yeah, just the old gym setup. It's loud. It's block walls. It's referee better not. Referee better call a straight game, or he's gonna hear about it from us. And that's what makes it. That's what makes sports good. And
that's right.
And we got a little taste of that in football in the Atco game and the clinch game when it was 21-18. I thought Rockmore Field was just
about as loud as it's ever been.
It went crazy, and just hoping we can reproduce that atmosphere every home game, to where it's fun for the 7-year-old coming to the game, or the 60-year-old grandmother and grandfather to come to the game, where it's a great time, and you see in a great ball game, and we give you something to cheer about.
That's right. So if you missed it this year, folks, you don't want to miss it next year. Mark your calendars. We'll be out there in May. We'll be going to Atkinson County for that little jamboree, and then it won't be long. And right around the corner in August, season will be going again.
August 21st is going to be the first ball game, and that's the only ball game that we got down for sure right now, and that's Union County at home.
At home.
And we signed a 2-year contract with them, so we'll see. We'll see how the other non-region games play out, and how this region shakes out, and
All right. Well, Coach, it's been an exciting season, and we've appreciated you coming on here on Monday nights.
I appreciate it. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and I think I mentioned to you about wanting to do this ever since I got here, and really thought it helped promote our program and promote our kids, and a lot of people watch this. They really do. A lot of people back home that, on Facebook or whatnot, they follow the links and have watched it, and just can't wait to see how we can build on things from this year. Really like my coaching staff, and really like this team a whole lot, and hopefully we can keep the consistency going in that area, and we'll see what happens. All right.
We appreciate it, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for having you. We'll take a break, and we'll come back here in about 3 minutes, Jeremy, and we'll have Coach Ty Randolph on with us and talk Bulldog basketball.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger, and you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. stop on by and eat something.
Oh, and there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop?
It's down.
It's down in the sphere.
All right, welcome back here live from the Huddle House to the LC Coaches Show. We joined now by Coach Ty Randolph, head Bulldog basketball coach of the girls and the boys for the past 2 seasons. Coach, you doing all right this evening?
Doing well, sir. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. First time we've done a basketball show, so Coach is kind of, he said he's just going to follow our lead, but all we do is just run our mouth, Coach, and talk about what's going on with the program. You got started this past Saturday night with Worth County here at home. I was out of town and missed that ball game and missed a good one. I heard had a lot of folks give me updates, but got a big win, 70. You know the score. You tell us the score there. What we had?
76-45.
31-point win over a team that was in the Sweet 16 in AAA basketball last season. So
Very much.
So a quality opponent to open the season. And Coach, so you got we missing what 2-3 seniors from last year?
Correct.
Taekwon,
Rasheen,
and
Trey graduated. Great complimentary player, but Rasheen, you got to think you're losing the number one guy in the country in charges. There's nothing you can kind of say when you lose a Taekwon Baker. He's basically a program changer type of kid, playing currently at Gordon State. So, I mean, it's one of those things leaves a big hole in what you got going.
That's right. So we bring back E.J. Brown, which is a super freshman from last year, playing his sophomore season this year.
Correct.
We bring back a Rashad Brockington, a C.J. Johnson, a Maury McGriff, just to name a few.
Correct.
There's some guys that had quality minutes last year, and then I noticed on the stat sheet you sent me over for the newspaper that got some guys coming there, some younger guys. Got Quan Pope out playing this year. Got Cason Rester, looked like he might have got a start here early in the year.
I think Cason's going to be a kid that really kind of changed the program from a standpoint of being a true basketball player. We talk about that all the time. He's a very intelligent kid, great mind for the game. And he fits in very well with the upperclassmen. But Rashard coming off of a great win down there at Charlton in football was kind of tough to plug him in there right off. So Cason, we kind of work with a lot in the fall. But Rashard didn't miss a beat. The minutes that we gave him, I thought he stepped in there and he looked like his old self.
That's right. I looked on the scorebook, and I'm thinking, Rashad just played football last night. He come right over here and scored 9 points in the first basketball game.
Yes, he's going to be one that people talk about from years of here on out of just being that special all-around athlete. He does it all in basketball, football, and baseball.
That's
so
correct.
Just blessed to have a kid like that in the program.
That's right. Of course, EJ had a big night, scored 18 points.
He
looked
did.
like he scored a lot of those in the first half, and then we got that big lead. And it looked like he subbed a lot in the second half.
Try to give everybody. You can't. If you come to practice every day, we're gonna honor you and give you a few minutes here and there if you earn it. But EJ. He's a kid that to me has expanded his horizon IQ wise. He's always was a talent. He always gets scored the ball. But the biggest thing I commend him on is from the defensive end. He's really kind of bought in. He's become a playmaker right there and kind of turning that defense into offense. So that was crucial for what we need.
That's right. Then Amari McGriff scored about 14 points, if I remember correctly. And good, solid first ball game for him in the paint. And I saw some highlights off of Huddle and on Facebook, and man, he was blocking shots left and right coming in. You didn't bring it in that paint. Didn't look like on Saturday night.
And that's really, I think, the part of the program where we were missing a year ago is it's just a rim protector. You know, Omari's always been famous for his shot blocking, but I've been more impressed with his leadership and just kind of mentoring the younger guys and just kind of taking charge out on the floor and kind of letting his play dictate, you know, what goes on. But he was truly special out there Saturday night in some of the plays that he made. I always say that freak of nature type thing.
Right.
It was scary to watch some of them, but I can honestly tell you I'm glad he's a Bulldog.
That's right. Glad he came back up from Florida. Got him going again. So a big win set, like you say, 31 points, led by as many as probably close to 40 there a few times.
Yeah.
But like you say, played some younger guys. Probably had a shortened fourth quarter due to the size of the lead. And
We did.
But shows the worth ethic that you have and your team has. Is
Very much.
come jump out on a big team like that from AAA. It was a Sweet 16. I don't know how many players they brought back, but
They
solid program anyway.
Yes, sir. They lost, you know, one or two, but just like us, we lost one or two. But it's like you say, when we go into scheduling, we always believe in playing the heavyweight or playing the teams that are going to be, you know, crucial in other regions as well. But, you know, going into this season, it's a no-brainer that we're the underdogs. And I think every day we come to practice, we come to play, I think these kids definitely have a chip on their shoulder, and, you know, they should. So, you know, we understand where we stand and where everybody puts as far as the critics, but we have a goal in mind and we know where we want to finish.
That's right. We skipped right ahead to the guys' side of basketball, but the young ladies played a good basketball game Saturday evening. Lost by 5, 6.
I think it was 5 or 7. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and they led at the half.
They did. I think one thing with the ladies, and it's no mystery, and I always say it, when you lose pretty much a player of the century like Gracie Brunel, there's going to be a huge hole to fill. But, I mean, I thought Tanasia Sermons did a heck of a job of kind of stepping in a semi-role. She's kind of coming to her own. I thought Jazz did an excellent job in what she had going once she got settled down. But, I mean, we have a few ladies that I feel will round into that, you know, situation, and Daisy Jones and a few others that will step in there. But, I mean, it's one of those things we're not, you know, we're always sad to see a player go, but I think the future is still bright, you know, in what we have with ladies. It's just continuing to what we always say is when one's down, the next person steps up. We got a few ladies that'll step up and be okay in the long run.
That's right. So I think we had 5 or 6 young ladies scored Saturday night, and that's a plus. Had Tanasia, I think, was the leading scorer with 20-some points.
Correct.
And then Jazz with 13 or 14. And then Daisy with some points. And I'm trying to remember the other young ladies that scored. But, you know, there was 5 or 6 in there to put the ball in the basket. And that's balanced a little bit, you might say, of scoring. And, you know, like you said, Gracie was pretty much offense by herself, man. She scored 30 or something, 40 a game. And you didn't have to rely on it. But now these young ladies showed that, hey, Saturday night they can step up and put the ball in the hoop.
They do, and I think in overall, and the more we rotate, this is a pretty faster team depth-wise. I mean, all the ladies understand their roles as far as being able to contribute in certain things. So a lot of, as much as coaches you hate it, you know, it's going to be a situation of getting their feet wet with the experience. But I know I like the mind frame. We have 1 or 2 that are going to probably step into the role here this weekend. That was off on softball, and Elle Watson and Jacoba Foster were in workouts today. So once you add a few more of those ladies in there, I think it's going to change the dynamics of where the ladies are.
Yeah, I think Elle went to a little tryout deal or something. And,
she's still trying to get placed there in softball, and from what I'm hearing, she's got a really good chance. She's had some very good showing. So, you know, we wish her the best, and it's just like I tell them, anything we can get extra, we'll take it.
That's right. But turn right around this week, you're going to go back to Worth and return to home and home favor and go up there and play them in Worth.
Yes.
And so it's unusual that you kind of play somebody that quick, but that's kind of how the scheduling worked out. And then
it does. We had McIntosh Academy on the schedule, and we had to reschedule. So basically, we'd have had one in between Worth, but, I mean, a lot of times, like I tell the guys, especially within scouts, you know, we got to be prepared for anything. And, the biggest thing I try to prepare them for is that hostile environment with the adversity against you. So this would be a good test for us going, you know, off of a pretty marginal win at home. Now you're going into hostile territory, and trying to go in there and, pretty much impose our will on them. But
that's right.
This group right here, like I said, they're kind of resilient. They definitely have a chip on their shoulder. So, I look forward to Saturday night and, it's going and taking care of business.
That's right. They have a fairly new gymnasium up there at Worth County. Haven't been too long built that thing. It's big, got all the bright, shiny lights. So it's a little bit, just stepping up a little bit. They're going to, see some, which we went over to Colquitt County last year and had all that. None of that really mattered. Just still 94 feet and still 2 hoops on each end, or a hoop on each end. So
it is. It is. That's one thing I think as coach, what we try to do even before and on the court, just prepare for the big time moment. I mean, these kids, even this group right here now, seniors, when they were freshmen, they seen almost anything. So the atmospheres and playing on the road in this region.
That's right.
I mean, it's very rarely we're going to see something that we haven't been exposed to before. Right. So it's just a matter of adapting and playing, the way we've been taught every day. And like I said, we have a really good disciplined group right here. So
that's right.
It'll be okay.
Yep. All right, well, Coach, let's take just want to get a word from our sponsors anyway. I don't know how many we got and how long it'll take, but just a few minutes. We'll take a little break. We'll come back and kind of break down the season and what's going on, who we'll be playing, and a little bit different changes to the schedule this year and what we saw, as far as non-region wise. The region's still the same, but we'll get into that after this break.
Sounds good.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.
Oh, and there's a good drive. There's a good drive. Is it going to drop? It's down. It's down in the sphere.
All right, welcome back here live on the LC Coaches Show with I'm Keith Nibber with Jeremy Lewis. We got Coach Ty Randolph, head Bulldog basketball coach, with us. We've talked about the previous game we played. Got the season started Saturday night with Worth County. Going to go up to Worth this Saturday. That's one of the new teams that's on our schedule this year. Coach done his scheduling and switched up some of the non-region opponents. He mentioned earlier we're going to play McIntosh County Academy, which coincidentally could actually end up being one of our region opponents here in the near future, just depending on how those regions shake out in the next month or so. We're going to play Brooks County this year, I believe. An old opponent that we used to play, and we haven't played in quite a while, but that should be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
They're usually very competitive, come out of Region 1 AA with Berrien and Thomasville and Fitzgerald and those folks. And who else we got on there, Coach?
Oh, of course we'll go back and play Cook County again.
Yeah.
Kind of a local rivalry type situation. On the ladies' side, they'll play Valwood coming up on the first week of December, and then we're going to bring back your old Christmas tournament, the Bulldog Classic, and bring in 2 Florida teams. So we're going to have like a Georgia-Florida war going on right there with Hamilton County, Florida, and First Coast, Florida.
Okay. Is anybody else coming to that, or is it just going to be those 2 teams coming up?
We'll just have a 4-team round robin this year, and we're looking to expand it after that. But, like you were saying, last year we spent a lot of time playing the higher classifications of the 6As and 7As, which was good for us a lot of times. But, with this being the last year of power ranking, we need to be very careful in how we schedule. And one thing about me, I always do my homework. I have a very good supporting cast here, including yourself and a few others that we always kind of break down, which would be probably the best opponent, for us to play in order to not only, win games, but to gain points in that power ranking side. So all those teams are pretty much crucial. And being close, the rivalry side doesn't hurt.
That's right.
And I think our fans, a lot of times I'll see them, they'll tell me who we need to play. So,
that's right.
So
why we ain't playing this one no more.
Exactly.
That's right.
Exactly. So it's actually pretty cool at the end of the day.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, it's good to have Cook and Brooks back on the schedule. Those are some teams that we've always kind of had a little natural rivalry. I know way back in my day, Marcus Stroud played for Brooks County, and he was a big-time football guy.
Correct.
He come over to Lakeland, and everybody come to see Marcus Stroud, even though we didn't even have football back then. But
correct.
Everybody come to see Marcus Stroud, and a good friend of mine, he's in the Air Force now, Tim Riley. Yeah. Tim Riley dunked on Marcus Stroud.
Oh,
so
wow. I'm sure they got the people on their feet.
That's right. So, that was talked about for a long time. That was a little bit before Coach Will got it going.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Good deal.
So, it's good to have some of those teams back on the schedule. Then Cook County always had Coach Blackshear over there.
Sure. The legendary coach himself, yes.
Man, that was always a boring game, though. He was a good one, but, man, he loved to hold the ball.
Yeah. He's a very intelligent guy. I've known him for a long time. And, state champion back in the day at Tifton. He just had a very good IQ, and it's just one of those things. Like you say, you just got to know what you're going into. But Coach is a great one.
Yeah, but you know he was going to slow it down. If he thought you was going to try to run it, shot clock wasn't for him. He didn't like it.
Yes.
So that's something I'd like to see in high school basketball. But the 2 Florida teams, I don't know much about them, but I know you're doing the homework. You know about them and know what they got.
The Hamilton County game actually comes into a old personal rivalry. You guys had a really good rivalry back in the day, and I want to say they ended up winning the state championship several years ago.
That's right. That's right.
They had one loss or blemish on their record.
That was it.
It came from the hands of the Lanier County Bulldogs. So,
that's right.
And being able to play them, I just think again it sparks a rivalry. It's right down the road.
It is.
So it's one of those things. Now, First Coast has been a powerhouse in Florida,
is that right?
down in the Jacksonville area. Coach Strong has been a good friend of mine ever since he was at West Nassau, and just trying to figure out who we could play. If you're going to play a Christmas tournament, people want to see a very highly competitive field, and I think on December 27th and 28th, you're going to see some of the best athletes you've seen in a long time. So
that's right.
It's one of those things for us. Again, we play in a tough region, so we're going to play tough people outside of the region. So
that's right.
It's only going to make us better.
Who's the 4th team, Coach?
It's Lanier, Hamilton. Worth is going to come in
Worth's
and
come
play.
Back down and play somebody.
Correct. Yes. We'll also have a ladies game that weekend. We're going to play. Our ladies will play Hamilton County, Florida ladies, most likely. If for some reason they can't work it, we've got to back up with Worth County ladies one more time. But it looks like Hamilton County's girls is who we'll play.
Yeah. Yeah. You speaking of that Hamilton County, I offended one of our old coaches one day. I didn't mean to. He asked me a question, and he said, "What's the best?" And he thought I was going to say the game that we had just played, which was a very good ball game. But he asked me right after a game, he said, "What is the best Lanier County basketball game you've ever witnessed?" I said, "It's easy. We go back to 1992, and we played Hamilton County, Florida, in Eccles County gym." Anybody who liked high school basketball came to that gym, and I wasn't a fire marshal back then, and that gym was overpacked.
Okay.
I mean, if you'd have fit one more person in there, they'd have been standing on the court. And I mean, if they wanted to see that ball game, and they was good. Like you said, they had not lost. They was defending state champions in their classification down in Florida. They come in there when they first team you ever seen wearing wind suits like you wore in here this afternoon.
Gotcha.
They snapped them things off. They was ready to roll.
Gotcha.
Bulldogs took it to them. And there's never been another basketball game before or after
Mm-hmm.
in Lanier County history like that ball game. And if we could repeat that here, you'll fill the gym. You won't have to worry about the Christmas tournament anymore. You'll have that one.
Well, that's our plan. Like I said, we played them the first night, so it's one of those things. If setting the tempo and setting the mood, everybody's gonna get what they've been looking for. So
That's right.
we'll just be ready to get it done.
That's right. And when we go into our region, and I have to tell you, everybody talks about how Region 1, Class A, Region 1 over in the far southwest corner over there with Calhoun and Mitchell County. Used to be Mitchell Baker, and then you got Pelham, and you got Terrell County, and all those guys.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody talks about how good they are over there. They're good.
Very much.
But there's some good teams in Region 2.
I will definitely co-sign that.
We saw that last year, and it's going to be even better this year.
Yes.
Irwin County brings back a whole lot.
Mm-hmm.
Wilcox brings back the house. They
Correct.
got them all coming back.
Correct.
We're talking about on the guys' side.
Yep.
On the girls' side, Turner County had a great ball team.
Yes.
Wilcox County had a great ball team.
Mm-hmm.
They bring them all back.
Yes.
So Region 2, it's going to be a show each and every night, no matter where you're at.
I always tell people all the time, you talk about the SEC, ACC type deal, you're speaking of it in Region 2.
That's
Think
right.
about it. I mean, every night is a knockdown, drag out. Anybody can beat anybody. I mean, and the preparation side, if you don't think that the next team that you're playing can't beat you, you're in the wrong league.
That's
It's
right.
definitely doable.
Clinch County, always tough. Region rivalry, don't matter how good, what the records are, that's always a tough one.
Correct.
Telfair County, I mean, they're
They
a tough
were-
opponent.
Yeah, I was gonna say they kind of showed last year. They peaked at the right time. I thought we was in a situation where we were still trying to find our identity going into the state tournament, and they kind of tripped us up at home. So that was one that kind of stuck with us, over the summer and certain things. So, like you said, all these teams, basketball wise, coaching wise, I'm always a type of guy. I never criticize other coaches. I never criticize other teams.
That's right.
It's just one of those things. We try to focus on us, but we know. We're up for a fight every night.
That's right. Of course, I got friends all over the other regions. They come through here and they leave and they go to other places. They call, "What y'all got over there?" I said, "Just know this, we gonna be ready."
Yes,
And,
that's you're telling the truth
so,
on that. Now we may not have the best players, but at the end of the night, we're gonna put our best foot forward every night.
That's right. And a good friend up in Wilcox County, he knows they're pretty well loaded, and he's excited, and he's talking about we'll be seeing Wilkinson County. I said, "You better wait and see, can you get out this region, my friend?" And
That's one thing about us. Even though we are so-called considered to be the underdog, I was telling our seniors and telling the guys, we're going to enjoy this one. In
right.
18, when we won the region championship, we enjoyed each and every game, each and every practice. We valued each and every day.
That's
Sometimes you can put that cart before the horse, but no matter how this turns out, we know our ultimate goal is to win region and try to knock on that door and bring that first state title back. It's one of those things. We're going to enjoy each and every game, and we're going to value each and every scenario as we go through it.
That's right. And I believe that I usually keep up with this kind of stuff, but I believe the number one boys seed this year actually hosts the Final Four of the region tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how
Correct.
it works. I think the number one girls seed
Correct.
last year out of the north.
Correct.
We had to go up there because the number one, well, there wasn't a north and a south, but
Yep.
number one girls seed, we wound up going up there. So
Yes. Yep.
this year, if we can get that number one seed in the regular season,
Yep.
host the region tournament, that'd be
Correct.
all that much better. But
Look, anytime we can play in the doghouse, that's what we want.
that's right, and the fans love it, and they love to fill that place up.
Yes.
Jeremy, I don't know if y'all were on Saturday night for the game. I know I couldn't be here; I was out of town.
I was also out of town as well. So
That's right. But we'll start having the games on live. You have to watch it live. We're not gonna let you see it after it goes off because we ain't gonna let them folks we've been talking about up the road look at them. So
It's like a ticket to a show, man. You don't get the
That's
show
right.
early, you don't get it.
that's right. If you
Saturday,
can't,
Saturday night turned out pretty good. My better half Carrie was kind of worried. We got into the girls' game, and it was one of those things. A lot going on Saturday, but by 7:30 threw it up. Now It was wall to wall. So that just kind of showed you it was start of basketball season. Hopefully they got their money's worth.
Yeah. Great fans here. They love basketball. We just got off there with Coach Kurt Williams in football, and football's kind of catching a little bit of a groove again. And basketball, man, they love it here in Lanier County. Yeah, we all do. And like I say, you want to catch those games, you catch them here on the network. If you're out there and you ever thought about sponsoring, that would be more than appreciated, because Jeremy's struggling to find sponsors a little bit. Got to have that sponsor money to be able to bring all the games to everybody.
Yes, sir.
But we try to get them all. As long as we got sponsorship, we'll be at all of them.
Gotcha.
And we'll try to see what we can do about Saturday. I know I got something Saturday, but we got Clint Browning that works with us on here, and we'll see what we can get out of some of those guys. And folks that can't make it up to Worth County, we'll try to get it on here.
Gotcha.
And then we'll be back here Tuesday
versus McIntosh Academy.
Next week from tomorrow night. Bring McIntosh County. I'll come over, and might be a preview of a future region game. So.
Very much. They're in that tough side over there with Trutland and those guys, and that's one of the reasons why, I wanted to kind of play them, is because you see Trutland, Calhoun County was a force, going undefeated and beating them in the state championship game, close game. So kind of gives you a test or a taste of what that other side could be like,
That's right.
down the road.
That's definitely right. Well, Coach, anything you'd like to add to tonight, or talk about the season, or something you want to tell the fans out there? That
I just think that, going into this season, this is one of those ones where there's a lot of people that are optimistic, but I mean, on the inside looking out, I mean, I see what the kids are bringing to the table every day. I don't think they're going to be disappointed. I think they're going to see basketball at a different level. I think the kids are focused. I mean, on and off the court. I think it's going to be a pretty good run.
That's always good to hear, Coach.
Sir.
We don't put a whole lot of pressure on you, but we know we expect to win, and we know you stand up to the challenge. Even if you do get to feel like sometimes they want me to win them all, but you want to win them all. So that's what makes it so much fun.
Exactly. I was going to say that we set a standard when I first came here. We have to build it, and once you build it, you just kind of maintain it and grow off it every day. But yes, we expect to win, and we're going to win. We're going to get it taken care of.
That's right. Well, you've got us to a point where we don't rebuild anymore. We reload.
There you go. I like the way that sounds.
That's right. All right. Well, we're going to close it out for this evening. Like I say, check us out Saturday night. We'll have somebody hopefully there to cover the ball game. I hope so, because I hope I'm able to see it, because I'm not going to be able to make it. But we'll try to get somebody up there to cover the game Saturday, and then we'll be back Tuesday, and I'll try to get on as much as I can when Coach don't need me down there keeping the book. But we'll do that when we got to do that too.
We'll take every bit we can get.
All right. For Jeremy Lewis, Coach Ty Randolph, we're going to sign off from the Huddle House.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Farmers and Merchants Bank has been helping people with their financial needs for over 100 years. And FMB is right here in Lakeland, Georgia to serve you. Whether you need personal banking with checking and savings accounts, money market and IRAs, or business banking with checking, cash management, and loans, FMB is also your lending solution for both personal and business. Whatever your banking needs, Farmers and Merchants Bank remains committed to be the best of the best. North Carter Street in Lakeland. Go Dogs! Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Huddle House in Lakeland, Georgia is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. With a clean and friendly atmosphere, you'll always get the service you're looking for. They have a variety of menu items for you to choose from, whether it's an omelet or a hamburger. And you can even order takeout, whether you sit at the bar or at a table. The staff at Huddle House is always looking out for you. Huddle House in Lakeland, open 24/7, 251 West Main Street. That's 251 West Main Street. Stop on by and eat something.